You know, no matter who you are or how perfectly your life seems to be going, life has a way of sort of making you wake up and take a real long look at the hard realities of what we're doing here and what this life is all about.
We'd been married almost, well, a little over 7 years.
Yeah.
And, well, things were going good. You know, they were going really good. And we had 2 beautiful little girls, and we loved being together as a family.
And then one day, kind of out of the clear blue sky, Jenny, who was our 6-year-old daughter, she was learning to ride a bicycle, and she was hit by a car and died. I guess it really took a crisis like your daughter dying to make me sit back and really ask some pretty strong questions.
And I was angry. I was angry at God for what had happened and for letting it happen and not explaining why.
Melissa, who's our other daughter, she was asking me one day, she said, Daddy, what happened to Jenny? Where'd she go? And I think that was really the first time in my life that I realized I didn't know.
We had nothing. We had nothing to tell her, and no matter what we said, it just didn't seem, well, we didn't know it was right.
I kept remembering our wedding, and the words of the ceremony kept coming back to me. That we would honor and cherish and love each other till death do us part. And I kept feeling that with the death of our daughter, that my family was being taken from me and there was nothing I could do about it. That there was nothing that could be done once death had separated us.
Every story has an ending, even when it can't be told. And every broken heart starts mending when it finds shelter from the cold. Heard a window always opens when the doors have all been closed. And though I know it's true, I need my light to see me through. And Lord, I need you to stay with me just until my heart recovers. Stay with me. It's a lonely thing to suffer. Tell me how the heartache I feel now will go away someday. Maybe we just might find the answers that will carry me like an awkward dancer on a crowded floor. I'll learn to dance once more someday. If you just stay.
And then one day I was at work, and there was a friend of mine at work who was a very close friend. He kind of lived with me through this crisis. He saw what I was going through. He knew what my wife and I were suffering. And he mentioned to me something. He told me one day when we were talking, he said that he knew that there was a way that my family and I and my wife, we could all be together after we died. So I was a little intrigued when he mentioned that he had a couple of friends that we should talk to that...
Well, his friends were a couple of missionaries, young men from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they told us that God had provided a way for us to see our daughter again. And they said that Jesus Christ was the one that made it possible for us to be together forever as a family, and that Jesus could only do this most wonderful of all things if we did our part. We had to improve our lives. We had to change.
We had to change certain things about our lives that,
Well, in accordance with what Christ taught.
well, and the step that I remember the most, the one that really, at the time, stuck with me, and that was, he said that we could be married by someone with the authority to marry us, not just till death do us part, but forever. And the thing that intrigued me the most is they said that, well, we could tell you this all we want, but you have to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
And one evening, I was in the den, I was doing a little bit of work, and I was sort of going in and out of thought about what these men had told us about. And for the first time in my life, I got down on my knees and I prayed to our Father in heaven. And I asked him if these things that I had been hearing were true, or if it was just something that was kind of pacifying me for the time. And what happened was something that is a little difficult to describe, but it's a feeling of warmth. It's a feeling of love. It's a good feeling that just went over my entire body, from my head to my foot. I felt a strength that I had never felt before. And I have received an answer at that time that what I was studying and what I was learning wasn't just a neat idea, but it was true.
You know, I never really had to think about this until this happened. I never really had to think about what would happen when we died, because nothing was temporary to me, and all of a sudden my life became very temporary. And my life with my children and David, and I really wanted to believe what they said was true, and something inside of me said, yes, you should continue to listen to this. I know that sounds funny. But, so after I worked through a lot of what it was I was going through, the feelings and everything, I decided that I would have to get on my knees and find out for myself. And if God really does answer prayers, then I wanted him to answer my prayer, and I wanted to find out for myself. And so I did. And I just felt really calm for the first time. And all of a sudden, all of the bitterness and the anger came into understanding, and I realized that it was true, and that Jesus Christ had made a way for us to be together again, and that this is not a temporary thing. And I know that I'll see Jenny again, and that our relationship will grow and grow forever.